Alright, music fans, welcome back to the Real Music Observer. It's Dave in the car, observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there, and me right here. So, basically someone, hey Smarty Pants, well, they use different language than Smarty Pants, because, you know, Smarty Pants is kind of, it's just something that people don't really say. So, they're like, so, you're bashing on Steve Perry all the time, and I'm not trying to bash on Steve Perry. I think some of Steve's constituency is gets a little carried away. That's more or less what I'm getting at. But they're like, so, who would you have be in Journey other than Arnel? Well, Arnel is the natural choice right now since he's in the band and he's got a contract and so forth. And even though I think his vocal cords are kind of maxed out, they're at their limits. And as much as I think he can continue for a while, long term, if they continue to tour at the pace next year that they toured at this last year, it's going to be tough on him, like it is for every vocalist who gets involved with Journey. Next year, they're planning on touring with Def Leppard. I don't know if that's a guarantee, but you can look at that and say that's a very high possibility, and most likely that will be a very lucrative tour. But in the meantime, people want to know. Look, I've done videos on here about a couple of guys, and we'll go over this again. As far as recordings, recorded music, professionally recorded in a studio with other musicians, I would point you to an album called Ramos Hugo. Ramos Hugo. Hugo Valenti is the guy I'm talking about. Sounds a lot like Steve Perry. That Ramos Hugo project, to me, is as close to Journey, without being Journey, as you're going to probably hear in a professional studio recorded environment. Okay, there are some other bands out there. I mentioned Street Talk is an interesting band. There's another band I'm going to be talking about called Departure, and yes, maybe the name does allude, as well as Street Talk, to past Journey and Steve Perry greatness, as everyone wants a little tiny piece of the trademark somehow. So when you hear it, you can go, oh yeah, it's Street Talk, remember? That's Steve Perry's album, Street Talk. And people over in Europe, Sweden, all that stuff, they're all into that. They love just to pay tribute to all of the great American groups and albums, for that matter. And over here, we're just like, yeah, whatever. Let's just go get some more Justin Bieber. So, sorry, I never thought, have I ever mentioned his name in a video before? Probably a huge mistake. Probably going to lose people right now. But anyway, so that's recorded. It's going to be Hugo. Hugo sounds great. Live, to me, Hugo loses something. He doesn't do enough flattery. In other words, he's not good at imitation. And he tends to sing Journey songs his way. Even though his voice is right where it needs to be, he doesn't do the Steve Perry isms that would give him that edge. Now, he's in a tribute band called Voyage, okay? So he gets to sing these songs all the time. The guy who is still #1 with a bullet, and nobody even close to him, is Jason Kelty from the Escape tribute band up in northeastern Ohio. People continue to send me links to this tribute band and that tribute band, and you know what I do? No offense, I listen for about 10 seconds. The singer starts, and I X out of it. I'm just like, this isn't even close, people. This is just, I mean, look, any person with kind of a high vocal range can attempt to sing songs that are in a high vocal range, but you don't necessarily get the sound of the vocalist who you're trying to pay tribute to unless your voice kind of sounds like his. Just throwing that out there. So if you're in a tribute band up in Canada, there was one in particular that I received. Not going to mention any names of these bands because I don't want to bring the wrath of their fans down upon me, but I was like, holy crap, Batman, and not in a good way, okay? Not the usual positive holy crap, Batman. This was just like, no. So in any event, Jason Kelty, why does he sound like Steve Perry? Genetics, number one. Number two, practice. Number three, imitation. Hearing a Journey song and hearing how Journey sings a word or a phrase. Well, Journey, meaning Steve Perry, sings a word or a phrase. That's how Jason Kelty has mastered this. He's also got stage mannerisms that do a great job at bringing back the vintage Steve Perry kind of prancing around the stage the way he used to do that. Of course, a lot of guys will wear the tux with the tails and the jacket that Perry had, and, you know, that, what is that yellow shirt with the big polka dots on it. That was a Perry thing from the Escape tour. And that's where this guy wins, and he wins big. And the rest of his band, by the way, are equal to the task. One of the great videos you can find here on YouTube is a video of Jason Kelty singing Foolish Heart, seated with a microphone, just like the video of Foolish Heart. If you're not really that into the MTV video generation, you can check that video out, the original video for Foolish Heart with Steve Perry. And the only thing that you don't get is the camera zooming in slowly on Perry as the song progresses. And this is in a movie theater setting, but just having Jason sit down and have the microphone propped up there, he really gets into it. It's almost like he's an actor who is assuming a part, and he plays the part better than anyone else I've ever heard or seen. And so that's my explanation. People want to know, hey, you know, what would you do? Who would you put in Journey? Well, I'd put Jason Kelty in Journey. Do I think Jason wants to join the drama team over at Journey right now? Probably not. You know, money certainly would talk, but I don't know if Jason can be bought. I think he likes where he's at, and he continues to hone his craft and perfect it and attract new fans. And as Journey kind of, you know, just sort of does I don't know, there's a word I'm looking for, like rudimentary or perfunctory would be a good word. They just do a perfunctory show where they play the songs you expect them to play. This is another great thing about the Escape Tribute Band, is they will do songs a little off the beaten track sometimes. People in Places is a song that the current Journey does not usually perform, but Escape does, and they do a lot of other songs that you're probably going to say, wow, I haven't heard that in a while. And that's the whole point, right? So, just to wrap up here, I know I'm getting kind of, I don't know, some negativity, because some of the fans just, it's like, I can just see them with a stack of Journey CDs every single day, or Steve Perry and Journey CDs, and that's all they're listening to. And even when I was into Journey at their peak, I had so much music in my collection. Journey was a small part of it. And, you know, back in the day, it was almost like Journey became kind of boring, because everybody in the world was playing Journey, and I was into some other things just because, hey, you know what, I want to find another band to listen to and enjoy. And I think people need to, even today, be a little bit more sort of open-minded to new music or just something different. All right? So that's it for my video. Jason Kelty, you're number one, buddy. Number one with a bullet. Nobody even comes close to Jason Kelty. Talk to you later, folks.